Hello, hello. It's Amy from Seriously Sweet and Cookie Snack Attack. I am so excited. We have Samantha Baughman in the house or in the box or in the computer, however you guys want to call it. Old school was in the house, right, Samantha?
That's right. Also, just for future reference, and I know that you really don't care, but my last name is pronounced Baughman, and no one will ever get that right.
Wait, say it.
Baughman.
Like B-A-F-F, like phonetically? I have no idea.
I know. There's actually another Samantha Baughman that I have met, or Baughman I met at CookieCon, but she pronounces hers Baughman with a T. It's like, there's not even a T in there. She goes, well, there's not even an F in there.
That's so cool. That is so cool. Okay, so what is the descent of that last name?
That's my husband's last name. I'm not sure.
What is your husband's last name?
I want to say it was like Dutch. I want to say
Dutch. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so I didn't know that. So it is Samantha Baughman. Okay, I can do that. I'll remember that. That's so funny. The other day when I did your files, I actually made you Bachman because I crossed your file with Susan. I was like, no, that's not right. It's not right. I must fix this right now. Yeah. All right. So let's see. Let's take any comments anybody has really quick because I am so excited. Can you guys see the project on the far right-hand side of the screen? I am so psyched for what she's going to show us tonight. Oh, it's just adorable. Okay. And I showed you everyone that was greeting us. Hey, if you are watching on Facebook, then give StreamYard permission or YouTube. Either of those places you can give StreamYard permission. We can see your name. I can tell Samantha who's watching because we're going to go down to one camera in a minute. She and I will still be chatting and I'll read her your questions. If you're watching over on Instagram, we can stream to Instagram now, meaning we can push this live stream over there. But I'm the only one. I mean, if you're on Instagram, you can see it. But I'm the only one that can see the comments to tell Samantha because Instagram actually works like it's a second thing. And so I actually have a split screen going right now where I can see your comments. So Lavelle, you were saying you're a little confused about what's going on with the lives. Our live times are all the same. It's just you popped on Instagram. And now I see you've popped on over on Facebook. So if you want your comments to be able to go up on the, what is this tonight on the live stream? If you want it to be part of the permanent video, then you'll have to post from YouTube or Facebook. You can watch over on Instagram, and we love that because we are so excited about the updates to StreamYard and so thankful you guys are watching over there. But just know I can see your comments. I'll relay them to Samantha, but if you want them in the full part of the video, just come on over to Facebook or YouTube, okay? Listen, when I saw this project, I was like, I'm so excited. And I told them earlier today, because we did Scrabble tiles earlier today. Yeah. And I told them, I said, Samantha is like mad scientist at heart like me. So I was really psyched because she was mad scientisting on something. And that she's still working on that mad scientist thing. I guess it didn't
go. But we're going to make it go. I learned some things.
Later, right? So when it's ready, you'll come back to us.
Right.
But then it was a total shock to me too, what she was doing. And I was like, oh my God, I love that. It's so pretty. So without further ado, my friend, I'm going to turn this over to you and hopefully this is going to work and I'm not going to drop anybody. I'll move you over there and let's try. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So you guys, please share into any cookie groups that you belong to, anybody you think would enjoy the live stream, and also to your personal pages because it just starts the live, the algorithm in the live streams, and it helps get each of these artists more exposure. So just get in the habit of jumping on and sharing it to your personal pages and to any groups you're allowed to share into, but always only share into the groups we're allowed to share into so we don't get in trouble because we don't want to.
Pretty spinkle backdrop like you.
You like that?
That's my son. So the little baby one there. It says the camera's reversed.
So that is actually a picture of a bunch of sprinkles I had, but I have another backdrop that I couldn't get to load. That's my old sprinkle wall from my store, and I'm working on a new sprinkle wall at the new old house in the cookie studio. But look, Samantha, I'm doing my best to conserve space. So my new sprinkle wall is all these beautiful jars.
That looks really good.
Yeah, so I it's out of control already. But I can't keep all these sprinkles, so I've been passing them on to people to use them, right? Because bakery level sprinkles are different than content creator sprinkles.
Right.
But I also can't give everything up. It's really been difficult. And I feel like I must really trust the person that I'm passing the sprinkles on to. It's like really having to let go of something personal for me. So Debbie and Mary Jean and Allison, I've just been like, they're getting sprinkles. I have boxes set up for all three of them, and I just divvy it up. So if anybody needs sprinkles, let me know. There's probably 200 pounds here that still needs to be distributed. I mean, I used to order 25 pounds at a time for things for the cupcake toppers and the cakes and stuff. Yeah. And then, when COVID hit, it was like a screech. Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff that I can just use for display now because it's over 2 years old, obviously. So, but anybody that needs something for crafting or whatever, I'm your girl. Call me. All right, Miss Samantha, let's go.
All right.
Are you going to be okay like that? Or do you want me to do it like this since it doesn't really affect the size of that?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. I wonder if I can. I'm just so scared that you won't be able to see everybody if I do this. Let me try this and see. Let me do this. Let me put you up top. And then I'm going to try this view. Will it work? It doesn't want to work. No, hold on. I'm going to try one more thing.
You're like the little wizard in the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain.
Yeah, because they've added so much stuff. And I only get to do this when there's somebody on with me to check out all the new stuff, Now, you know what? I don't see the exact layout that I would like for us to have. I'm going to do that because that is a little bit bigger.
Okay.
But I can hear you. You can hear me. I think they can hear us. And if I do this, do you have any devices going where you see the comments?
Yes, I have my laptop. You can look. You can see on my screen. Here's my.
Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. So as long as you can read those, I'll put them up whenever there's like a question. And hello to everyone. We're so glad you're here. Well, we were playing with the camera, so hopefully it's okay now. All right. So Samantha Baughman, by the way, there's some people that you're going to need to make sure they know how to pronounce that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to have to make sure they know how to do that. I'm not even sure they did that right on Christmas Cookie Challenge.
I can't remember if they did on Christmas Cookie Challenge, honestly. I feel like they did.
You did? I'm going to have to go watch. Your season 6.
Episode 8.
Episode 8?
The last one.
I will go and watch again tomorrow while I'm decorating cookies. I've been cranking out videos all day. Hey, Jen, it does not see your name, but we're so glad you're here. That's Jen Mosier.
Oh, hey, Jen. Hi.
She's doing well, recovering from her surgery.
Hey.
Also, you guys, don't forget Gabby is having surgery, I think, next week. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers, good energy, whatever it is that y'all do, because we want all of our cookie friends back and full cookie mode. We want everybody back and doing full cookie mode. All right. It's all yours, Sam. Let's get to it.
All right. So you guys, we are going to be making this luminary. So it's got an open bottom here. It's just a hollow box, and you can use any kind of light to put in here, but it's the same pattern on all the sides. So this one's really, really simple to make. So I'm going to set this down, scooch it over, and I'm going to show you what our base piece looks like. And I'm going to upload the template for this into the group so that everybody can have access to it, including the pattern for the heart so that they can do the transfer portion. So cute. And I see so many uses for this. Isn't it fun? And you can make it any season that you want, and you could do any color that you want, whatever kind of insert you want to do. I do like having this middle piece right here for structure, because if you just tried to make this without this centerpiece, I don't think in sugar cookie there's any way that it would really stand up. You'd have to
what? Do you think if you did just thinking ahead to next month, do you think if you did a proper size egg structurally, it would hold together, that you could do an egg cutout? You mean like in the middle? Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can play with that. I have an idea that goes along with Easter that's similar to this one. Okay.
but it's different.
Okay.
We will come back and revisit that one next month because I've got to, I'm going to work on that this next
I
week.
could break out the scroll saw because I love power tools for cookies. I could break out the scroll saw and get some fitted pieces and make one with you one night.
That would be really fun.
It'd be fun. You want to have a night like that? You just let me know when.
We just sit around and make cookies together long distance.
That's right. Then you don't feel so far away.
I know. Everybody does feel far away. It's one of the reasons I like CookieCon because I get to see everybody. Okay, so this is the same color, but this is a piping consistency, like what you would use for lettering. So it's got a little bit of a give, and like when you do the Hershey Kiss, like a little flop over, it actually like curls at the end. So it's not super, super stiff. But this is what I use for piping the middle and for assembly, because anytime we're assembling a 3D piece, if we do flood, it's so soft and it squishes out so fast and it doesn't dry very quickly. Structurally, it's just not going to be as sound. So this is the same color, just a thicker, heavier flood.
And Sam, before they ask, do you think it matters if they use sugar cookie dough or they use gingerbread?
For this particular design, no. You can do either one and it'll be fine. Now, if you have any post shaping that you have to do, which anytime I need to square up, I always use like my microplane to kind of hit the edges here. Or if it's really drastic, I'll use a vegetable peeler and just like scrape it along. So if there's
know what? I don't have a vegetable peeler in my cookie toolbox. That's a great idea too.
You need one that has the open sharp tip like this right here, as opposed to the ones that are like fully enclosed that go across.
Okay.
Because you can really use that tip to kind of
get in and out of things. Okay,
I'll be one day.
I'm going to be adding that to my toolbox shortly.
Yes, I can show you all the ways.
You big enabler, you.
So, see, the thing that here's the problem. Whenever I get on with you, I start talking, and then I think about all the other things I want to talk about. I'm like, no, we have a cookie right here.
Well, you can do the cookie, but think of this like podcast cookie decorating. You can do both. There isn't really anything else out there like what we do. So you do whatever you feel comfortable with. I give you all the runway. You just do it how you want to handle it. This is supposed to be like the fun time where it's not so structured. So whatever you want to do.
Now you've done it, Amy. Now I have too much leeway. But you remember the last time I was on and I was like delirious tired. Was it Christmas?
Yes.
I could not.
I think we both were out of our minds that night, giggling the whole night, but it was a great night.
It was super, super fun. I could not quit though. I was just absolutely hysterical. So look, this is professional Sam. This is non-burnt out Sam.
Hey, do you have a favorite red for Valentine's Day or just anything you have made?
Okay, this is going to sound really controversial to cookie people, but I genuinely don't pay attention to my color very much at all. Unless it's like a sugar show piece that I really have to focus on. But this is just the super red, and I used a little bit of leaf green because I was impatient to wait for it to saturate, and I wanted to darken it a little bit.
Okay.
Because, there's people, I had this whole conversation not long ago. In the design process, like colors are one of the first things they do, right? Like they have a color palette. How are they going to create this? And then everything else comes into focus. For me, I just see the shape and what I want to create. And then colors are like literally the last thing that come.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I bet you have that thing in your brain like I do where we think we're not paying attention to color, but what it really is we decided color way before we hit the design. It was like already, like we see shades and we see how colors are going to go together.
The landscape of it. And like, I know if it's going to be dreary. I know if it's going to be happy. I know if it's going to be moody or, bright and springy. Like I can see that part, but until I literally pull out my bin of colors, I don't know what I'm going to pull out.
Yeah.
And then,
so
like, as I mix, I'm like, okay, this is what, and I'll start.
I'll tell you what, there's a lot more people like you and me than the other.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like in talking with people and interviewing people for Cookie Snack Attack, our brains just work like that. Like we already saw the picture. So even though we haven't like said, okay, we got to mix two parts, this one part, this one part, this, it's already up here. And we've flown through that, moved into like templates and sketching and putting the design. And we're also, I think there's a big group of people that are good on moving on a pivot.
Yeah.
So like once the cookie's made, I feel like it's a good thing to not be so locked in on what you said you were going to do versus making the best cookie.
Right.
So I think that's kind of a designer thing.
It must be.
There's a lot of us out there. They're just not willing to admit it on camera.
Well, I'm an open book. I'll tell everything. I have no secrets when it comes to cookie decorating. It really is funny though, because there will be times when I have to pivot and I'm like, this isn't working the way that I want to, but I already have a backup plan. Like it's just kind of buried and it's like, ta-da.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, that used to happen in the bakery a lot because inevitably somebody would show up early for something and something wasn't quite finished, right? Like not cookies, but like cupcakes or cakes or brownie bars or something. And I'd have to be like, okay, well, what can I pull together? Because they're 3 hours early. Like if they really need this right now, I can't do what I was supposed to do an hour from now. So you just get good at working on the pivot and working at high speed.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's where I love to do. I love to work fast and just kind of wing it on some things. But now we're really going to do a little bit of cooking.
All right, you go, girl.
All right. So the first step that I want to do is I want to hit all these inside walls here. You don't necessarily have to put any icing on them, but I really feel like it ties the whole design in. So this is the flood. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put a line of it right here. I'm not actually trying to flood anything, right? Can y'all see that okay?
Mm-hmm.
And then I like to use a flat angled brush and I get it just a little damp. I've got my water right over here. And I'm just going to scrape all the extra water off. I'm not necessarily going to like pat it on my paper towel. I just want it damp enough to kind of move without sticking to the brush too badly. Because if you get too much water on it, it's going to thin it out so much that it won't be opaque and you'll be able to see the cookie through it, right? Can y'all see that right there? So it's not going to be like super smooth. You're not going to have like a perfectly smooth flood finish, but we're just trying to hide it a little bit. And I like to pull a little bit of color right here around this edge. So that way when I do flood, it blends in with the top surface up here. And we're going to do that for every opening on this. So I like to do, since there's 2 slots, I like to do the same side before I rotate my cookie.
Sam.
What?
Can you see what I just accidentally did?
What'd you do? Did you drop my face?
No, I added a dynamic camera grid because I was trying to be able to show them you and the other.
Uh-huh.
You guys see, can you see that on your screen?
All I see is, you can see my screen up here, sort of. I just see me, just the main camera.
Wait, do you see yourself in the upper left corner?
I do not. I see myself.
Okay, hold on. See if this works for you. Because I'm trying to, since your camera is horizontal, I'm trying to move it over so I can also show your face. See if you like this. You're going to be the first new custom layout. Did it work? I don't know if it worked. Hold on.
I don't see anything on my end.
Nope. We're going to have to leave it alone because here.
Oh,
there you are. Do you like that?
And look, I was trying to hold it up even so y'all could see it.
That's perfect.
Not going to be able to do it the whole time, but I can do it for part of it at least. All right. So we're going to do this little spot down here now.
Hey, Charlotte. I see you watching over on Instagram. Hope your train ride home is good. Hi, Jules. How are you doing tonight? Christina, I see you over there on Instagram too. Hope everyone is well. Love that.
It's very therapeutic to just kind of paint icing on a cookie when you spend so much time trying to flood things super smooth, you know?
Yes.
And you can
but luckily for you, you're in love with texture. So if it doesn't ever go to smooth flood, who cares? Embrace it.
Yeah, I'll usually find a way to mask it if it gets just really, really bad. But
hey, is anybody else having that problem that it was echoing on Instagram? And Julie is working on her 500 cookie order. It's so beautiful.
That's a lot of cookies.
Julie's married and her boyfriend is helping her.
Aww.
Did you hear what I said?
Me?
Yes, Julie's married, but her boyfriend is helping her do cookies. So her boyfriend is Eddie, her printer.
Oh, I gotcha.
I love it. Sorry, I might only be funny to myself tonight, but Julie got
now
it.
that I get it, but I was thinking about painting. And I was like, something clicked in the back of my brain, but I didn't respond immediately. And I was like,
Did she just really say that? I tease her all the time because I was like, that's the best boyfriend you've ever gotten. He does tons of work. He doesn't talk back.
And I'm over here thinking, if you're a swinger, it's none of my business. It's fine. It's fine. All right. So now that we've got some light color in there, we don't need it to be super thick. It's just to kind of hide that raw edge. Now we can actually come in and flood like we normally would.
You guys are going to be so, you're just going to wait till you see how she does this inside. You guys are going to be floored.
It's super fun. It was really surprisingly easy too.
I love it. I haven't seen this, though. What you told me about how you're going to do it, I haven't seen that done anywhere.
Well, that was kind of what made me do it, Amy.
Just testing. I love it. Got to push the boundaries.
I've never seen this done this way. And I was actually, what spawned this design was I was looking on my silhouette. Like I have a silhouette, not a cameo. But I was looking through some of the lanterns and 3D stuff they have on there for my kids just to kind of cut one out. And I saw all these cute little luminaries made out of paper. And I was like, there's no reason I can't make that into a cookie.
That's so perfect. Hey, Tony, thank you for joining us from Australia. Is it 2/7 in Australia right now? Is it morning time for you on February 7th? I love this.
I think it's really cool that you have people watch from so like everywhere.
Isn't it cool? I love it. I love it. This I got to get this texting thing worked out though, because I feel like a lot of my regular crew, they're so used to me texting them that some of them don't get here until we're halfway in. But I'm still working on that. It's 10:30 a.m. on February 7th. So, Tony, tell us if tomorrow's a good day or not. How's that?
So when
Sam, what are you planning for Easter? Do you have anything for Easter that you want to?
So actually, one of the things that I've done this year, I took January off in its entirety to do all my planning for 2024 on where I wanted to take things. And I am planning on releasing a 3D class every single month that's available online. So I do have some Easter plans. And
nice.
Which one was the Easter design? Or was I going to do a floral design? I have an entire sketchbook. I have templates made for everything. I just have to remember what I was doing what. All right. So now that we have this flooded, but you can pick it up and shake it or smooth it out, however you want to do. I'm going to show you guys how we're going to do these little hearts. Now, normally I would wait until this was dry, just so I didn't actually slam into it with something, but we're going to be real careful.
All right.
I'm actually going to scoot this over.
Well, it looks like you're flood icing. Okay, so someone is asking if you can pull the camera down closer, but I don't know if with the mount you're using, if you can.
Let me try, because it was trying to flip over earlier when I was trying to lower it.
We'll see if we can go any closer, but we had trouble earlier.
You know how the Archon, I love my Archon, but it does have so many little connection points.
All right. And Tony says in Australia that it's very much like Florida. She's in Queensland. That's cool. That's a little closer. Yeah.
A little bit. Lay it down.
No, that's fine. That's closer. Yeah, that's closer.
Okay. Yeah, that looks a little bit closer. All right, where was I know what I was doing. I was moving this. All right, so I'm going to do this on my tray because I want to be able to move this out of the way after, and I want to do it on top of my parchment. So this is essentially the same thing as doing a royal icing transfer, but we're going to do it as an inlay. So I have a pattern that I'll put up the group for you guys to have so that you can download it and you can just put it under your parchment or you can project however you want to do it.
Okay.
But I'm going to take my piping icing and I'm going to pipe directly in here and I'm going to make sure that I touch the walls when I do this.
And no one has asked yet, but are these roughly 1/4 inch deep cookies?
Yes, these are 1/4 inch deep, and the template that I'll upload will say it's 1/4 inch on there and show you how to make any adjustments that you need to for thickness.
Okay.
And the key here is to make sure that all your hearts are touching the sides somewhere and overlapping with an earlier heart that you piped. Right, so I can have this long tail down here, that's fine. And I'm going to add one of a different size now, and I'm going to make sure that it connects just a little bit at whatever point, right? Like these are kind of random because I don't have my template under here for me, but you guys will have a template. And you just really want to make sure that when you go up against the wall that you very gently just kind of push right against it.
Hey, Craft Lab, thank you for joining us. We're glad you're here tonight.
So yeah, you just kind of do the random hearts in different sizes and different angles. And you just always want to make sure that you push up against the wall and then pipe directly onto your parchment. And what happens is when it completely is dry and you pick it up, I'm going to move this out of the way so you guys can see. It's like this, where it's already all connected and hollow.
Oh, I love it.
Pull it up a little bit higher so you
Can
can
you
see.
guys see it? It's so cool.
Turn it this way so it's actually upright. So then once you get all those parts done, what we want to do, because you could do the hollow luminary and like see your light inside of it, but I like the look of having it glow.
Mm-hmm.
So what I like to do is use wafer paper as a backer for it.
Okay. Any particular thickness?
No, this is one that I ordered off Amazon in a hurry because my son accidentally destroyed my entire other patch. So
is it one of the thinner, like an O or an AO? Definitely not double density, right?
No. It's definitely on the thinner side. Like it's got good flexibility to it. And it's got the smooth side and it's got the rough textured side. And I like to have the smooth side facing out for this.
Well, they're loving this.
Oh, good.
Love it.
All right, so what you want to do, because this is really important, you want to make sure that there's still raw edge here, or else you're not going to be connecting your cookie piece to cookie when you assemble it. You want to make sure that you don't have wafer paper in that area where it's connecting. So I'm going to cut this one just a little skinnier.
Karen said this is so unique. Listen, if anybody has an extra $150 lying around, let me know. I will give you Sam's address and you can send her a scroll saw. Okay.
That's the one power tool I don't have, Amy.
Oh, you need it. Jennifer is the reason I have one. That thing's fabulous.
Saw. I have my Dremel. I have my table saw. I have a circular saw. I have all the saws except
you need this tabletop scroll saw that has you can put a vacuum right next to it.
Yeah.
While you're doing the cookies.
All right. So now we can see that there's enough area here for it to be able to connect when we assemble it. So
okay.
What I like to do is back to this piping icing, and I want to make sure that no icing is going to squish into my transfer area.
Jen said, oh, you so need to get one.
I know I do. I know.
I just flipped the tables. Jen and I just became the enablers. Thank you. Hey, Sam, I've never really paid attention to this before because I haven't attached a piece like this. Do you have you ever, because I'm sure you've done this a lot, do you ever get any color bleed on the wafer paper from attaching with that icing?
As long as I keep the icing on the thicker side, I have not. If I try to do it with the flood, then yes.
It'll travel.
Right.
That is so gorgeous.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, it's beautiful.
So then I like to set it down and just kind of give a little bit of an extra squish just to make sure that it's completely connected. But I'm going to do that to all these panels. Now, one thing I wanted to show is three of the cookies. 3 of them are the same width because they're going to be 2 sides in the lid. The other one is slightly skinnier. So you can't cut the same size parchment for every single one of them. You have to make sure that there's a little bit of variance there.
Okay. Look, Debbie's being funny. All the cool kids have them. That's why I don't have one yet either. That's funny. You guys let me know when you want the Amazon affiliate link. I'll send you the one. Is the icing in the window part dry before you put the wafer paper on the back? Yeah,
Yes,
she doesn't
it
like.
has to dry completely, just like you're using a transfer.
Mm-hmm. Now, I know some of you are thinking, hey, why don't you just fill that with ice malt? Because that's not the look she wants.
That's
Okay,
right.
this
That's
is
the
supposed
future.
to look like a luminary. So, and there might be an occasion in your life where you need to make a piece like this. So we're putting some more tools in your toolbox tonight. I've never literally whole time in Cookie Sam, I've never seen this.
Do what?
I've never seen this piped like this, like piped as a royal icing transfer, picked up, and then I've never seen it done like this. I love it. This is really, really interesting. Debbie said, be an enabler and put the link up. Well, I can't grab it right now. It might crash the whole computer. So I'll do it after and I'll put it in the Cookie Snack Attack group for you guys. Look at that, Sam. That's beautiful. Now, may I ask how long it took you to pipe all those individual windows? And is that about a 5x5 box?
It's a 4x4.
Okay.
Which you could do 5x5. There's no reason you couldn't.
Okay.
It's a 4x4, and it took me longer to hand cut them all than it did for me to pipe the windows.
Oh, got you.
Piping the windows for all pieces, which there's 5 pieces.
Okay.
Maybe 20 minutes.
We have a question. I think I already know what you're going to say, but I'm going to let you answer this one. Why are you not putting the wafer paper first, then piping? It's kind of what
the moisture from the icing can make your wafer paper curl. And if your wafer paper wiggles at all, then it would snap and break the icing and it could fall out.
Right. Over time, when you pipe on wafer paper, as your royal icing cures, it can actually crack your paper because the royal icing tries to suck any moisture out of that wafer paper. And so you'll get fracture lines. This I know because I did it.
I've done it too.
It just kind of like sucks it all out of there because royal icing is greedy like that and it wants all the moisture. This is so pretty.
There's a scientific word for that.
I know, but that's more fun. Plus, you guys, if you pipe a color on the wafer paper and your icing's even like a molecule too wet, you're going to have like a watercolor look thing going on because the color's going to travel in the veins.
Well, and one thing that's important when you're piping this line around to connect your wafer paper to, see how I have this little tiny break right there? Mm-hmm. If you don't get it the whole way around, it can buckle and pull away.
This is so pretty. And it looks so much like a non-edible luminary, right? That's the point. Like, how close can we get cookies to their non-edible counterparts when we're cookifying something? Cookifying. What's the word? Cookifying?
Cookify. That's what I would say. Oh, wait. Smooth side down.
I was in a store staring at something a little too long, and one of the workers walked by and she said, "Are you going to buy that?" And I said, "What?" And she said, "Are you going to buy that? You've been looking at that for like 10 minutes. I said, I don't know yet.
What was
I don't want it. I don't want the item. I'm just trying to figure out how I can make that a cookie. And she's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "It's okay. I understand my life." Look at that. That is beautiful.
See, this one, and the thing is, it's really not complex. Like, it takes a little bit of time, but this is not a hard 3D build.
That is beautiful.
All right. Now we get to do the assembly part. Yeah, we're going to do the assembly part. I was going to show you one more thing on this one that I didn't finish earlier intentionally, but that's going to wait.
Okay.
Okay, so now what you want to do is make sure, first of all, that your hearts are pointed in the right direction before you start to assemble. Because if they're upside down and you see it later, you're going to be like, "Oh, dang it." So we're going to do these sidewalls first, but I like to do these upright instead of trying to like lay them down or hold one up. It just makes it a lot more secure. And what I'm going to do is, this is that same piping, the thicker icing. Squirt some down in here.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to do it right up against that edge because it's going to kind of smush out some, but this is a fairly thick bead. Can y'all see that? Like it's
It's
sticking out
very,
off the side of the cookie. I'm gonna
yeah,
stand
it's
it
very
up.
pretty too. And the more I look at it, the more I think if I were going to do this, I'd probably do it in gingerbread so it would look like wood panels.
Yeah, that would be
Like
really
it has that look to it. It's so pretty.
all right. So now anything that has squished out over here that makes an obvious line, we can use our damp paintbrush and just very gently brush it on to the raw edge of the cookie beside it. And you can't
Okay.
really see this part, but I'm going to show it to you
On the finished.
on the finished one. Yeah.
I can hear the little Hicks chicks outside the cookie studio door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I left them in the other room in case they needed to visit the great frozen tundra while I was in here. It's so cold here, you guys. I'm so ready for that groundhog to be right and for spring to get here because I think it's going to be 24 degrees where I live tonight.
That's crazy. It was 65 here today.
I know it was very nice earlier in the day, but when I went out a little bit ago, I was like, oh man, yeah, like we're already at 32 degrees and it says it's going down to 25 tonight. I'm done. I'm done with that.
Well, we had
our
snow and ice a couple weeks ago, and then we had rain for days that flooded everything.
Yeah.
It just seems never ending. All right. And then one more piece to attach.
Wait, Julie said apparently once you start cookieing, you see lots of things in a cookie lens. You know that's true, Julie.
That is 100% true.
Oh, and Debbie said it's already 30 degrees in Pennsylvania where she is, and Jen's 30 degrees in New Jersey. It's just, you know what? I don't mind when it's cold, Sam. I really don't, as long as we're going to get snow, because somehow once the snow's down, everything feels insulated.
Right.
But when it's just bitter cold and it's kind of wet air, oh,
windy.
I can't stand it.
Ta-da!
Look at that. Do you know? Okay, now, can I just like spitfire real quick some things here?
Sure.
Wouldn't these be stunning on wedding tables?
They would be really pretty.
Wouldn't that be so pretty to have these? And then, yeah, because then, you know, I've seen at a lot of weddings where they let people, like they put something under one of the chairs at the tables where the people sit. And so at the end of the night, they have you check under your chair, and whoever has the thing under their chair gets to take the floral centerpieces and stuff. Like, really, wouldn't this be a really great thing? And to have it be your luminary, especially in a nighttime wedding?
Yeah, that would be really pretty. And then be able to pick it up and be like,
uh-huh. Exactly. That's so pretty.
That's the thing. Like, I'll show you guys this other project here in just a minute. But people ask me a lot when I do 3D cookies. They're like, how do you eat these? And I'm like, well, if you're my kid, you literally just pick it up and cut right off the corner. Yeah. If you're an adult, you just break a chunk off.
Yeah, just pop it apart.
Pretend it's a communion wafer. You just break it and pass it, right? It's great.
Yeah.
So then after this, you got all this set, you can let it sit for a little while before we clean up the edges over here, as long as you don't have any of those big beads sticking out. Mm-hmm. But to finish the edges, I'm going to lie this flat and kind of show you guys on this one, because I left one completely unfinished. Now, this was a rush job earlier to make sure I had this done for tonight. So normally it's a little smoother than this, but what I like to do is take my piping icing and make sure if there's any gap at all. It's almost like caulk when you're doing fill in that gap, and then go ahead and put a little bit of a bead right down this side. And we're going to come back in with this damp paintbrush, scrape the excess water off, and then we're just going to very gently smooth and blend.
Wow. Love
and
it.
Then you can get it to where, if you take your time and you don't rush it like I did earlier, because I was trying to get to the bus stop too before my kids got home from school. You can really get it nice and smooth, and you can blend it in where you can't even see the seams.
I love it. I love it. It's so pretty. So creative as always. Love your pieces.
And look, that one was really quick, right?
Yeah, no, really, I think it is. Like once you've designed it, so once they do templates, they're good to go.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to do each panel. and then just let them dry. And then when you assemble, you can just let it set while you work on your other ones. And then the top is the same way. Like, I mean, you just attach it on and then you just fill in the sides. You just paint them on the same way.
That is stunning.
That might be the fastest I've ever done a 3D tutorial.
I know. And we had a little like talk time too. So that's cool.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to pull us back in this way.
Okay.
See if I can get us all. And then I'm going to take this camera out. So, because I think your mic is attached to your main camera. And is that good? Okay. So, don't you have some classes releasing shortly?
I do. Would you like to see the first one?
I would love to. I want you to show everybody because I think it's going to be really fun.
Okay, so I'm going to tilt this. Actually, I'm going to move the one we just built very carefully over there. And see, if I had done that with a flooded connection, that thing would have just fallen apart.
Are you going to give those to your kids' teachers as Valentine gifts or something?
I don't know. Don't know what I'm going to do. Oh, y'all didn't even get to see it all completely lit up, I don't think, from the other one. But here we go.
Oh, guys, look at that.
I just stuck my finger right in the part that I just did. Doesn't that always happen?
It wouldn't be a live video if you didn't, friend.
That's okay. I'm going to show you guys the online classes that I have coming up. So I'm in the process of recording and editing all these. I've just recorded this last one. I finished the recordings yesterday, and I need to edit these. But look at this little mailbox.
Oh my goodness, that is so cute.
This is completely sugar cookie. It's not gingerbread at all. It's baked at a normal temperature, so it's my soft, regular recipe. And then
love
it has a cute little door in the back that's removable.
Oh.
So you can reach inside and get all your little goodies.
Fantastic. Oh, wow.
This is all about the construction. So, like, I mean, you could definitely decorate this however you wanted. Like, I've got this one here for my daughter, which is a little bit different design, different color scheme. And then let me show you, I made some mini cookies to go along with it.
Oh, that is way too cute. And you know what I'm saying? Everybody, look at that. Everyone should learn how to do this, especially all of you grandparents out there, because Santa lists on wafer paper tucked in there, decorate that for Christmas. That is so
keep putting them in all day. Mini cookies today.
Keep tucking them in there. So it has a base then, because I don't see them coming out the bottom.
Correct. It's got a base.
Oh, that's so great.
And you take the door and you pop it open. Everything's right here. And of course,
another
you can
awesome
do
project.
I mean, depending upon how big you want to make your opening, so you can do some adjustments. So if there were chocolates, or if you even wanted to take wafer paper and write little notes and stick it in, like you could have a whole variety of things you can put in there. And then
I see letters to Santa, Valentine's Day. That would be great at a wedding. Like write something on a cookie and drop it in.
Like little snowflakes and like Christmas decor on it. But even on the back right here, I'll show you guys kind of how I thought about the construction on it too. Oh, there's another cookie still left in there. I'm not looking at this.
Don't give too much away because it's a paid class.
No, I know. But I wanted to show that the door is designed to where it's got support, so it can't flip inside. So like,
I love that.
Like it might pop out this way if you don't get it lined up right. But it's got support, so it's not going to pop in. You're not going to lose your door. It can stay completely sealed up. And I'm not giving away too much.
Amazing.
I'm really excited about it.
I love it. How tall is that one?
I think this is 7 inches.
Okay. It looks bigger.
Doesn't it?
Let me think. Yeah, I was thinking it was just gauging off my ruler here. I was thinking that was like 8.5. Okay, it looks bigger, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, I think it's 7. It's either 7. Awesome. Yeah, it's 7 because I don't have a.
It's beautiful
over here, but yeah, it's
I also thought your 4-inch cookie was a 5-inch, so that makes perfect sense.
Maybe it's my camera being so zoomed in.
I love it. I love it. All right,
Yeah.
guys, tell us what you think over in the comments. Like, jar that algorithm a little bit. And Samantha, when do you think that class is going to be up for sale? And
I'm
how
hoping
can
by
they find
Friday.
it? By Friday.
So it should be by Friday. I've got some
Okay.
editing I have to do to get everything
Okay.
finalized on it. And I've got, of course, life, you know.
Yes.
But hopefully it'll be on sale Friday, if not Saturday at the latest, I would think. It's going
Okay.
to be my initial sale. It's going to be $50. It's normally going to be $75, but I'm going to push for everybody to be able to purchase this before Valentine's Day because I know it's coming quick. So it'll be available for $50, and I will have links to it on my Instagram and my Facebook page. And it should come as a PDF file with a link to a private video. So you should be able to.
Will the private video be on YouTube?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So they'll have access to it forever.
Yes.
All right. And downloadable files, how will they get those? Do those come
So
email?
those will come in an email for a PDF. You'll have the downloadable files, and Bobby's Cutters will be selling cutters to go along with it that work with 1/4-inch rolled out cookies. So you'll be able to purchase a cutter set if you'd like to do that as well.
Okay. Do you know if they'll, somebody's going to ask, because we have a lot of 3D printers in our group, 3D printing people. Well, do you think she'll have STL files? I don't even know if she sells STL
She
files.
does not. We've talked about that as something potential in the future, but right now that's a little more challenging for her to get done. I am looking at the potential of being able to release STL files on my own. But I'm still tweaking that. So
can
anybody
you 3D print?
Do it?
Do you 3D print your own printers? You do your own cutters?
I'll be honest, like I make my cutters for me, like nobody else. So these are not like Bobby's high quality, beautiful.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
These are so I have an Allison. I have an Allison because I have not delved into that yet. I bought the printer, and when the printer stayed in the box too long and Allison was already printing, I was like, why don't you just set this up with yours? And look, she is. This is true because we went from Allison picked up a printer to learn how to do it because Amy didn't do it fast enough, to Amy sent her printer to Allison's house, to Allison started shopping on Facebook Marketplace. And I'm pretty sure that house glows at night when she's running cookie cutters off for our classes because I think she's got like a whole little print farm going now. Yeah, I'm not going to volunteer how many it is, but it's a good amount.
Well, and that was the reason I wanted to work with Bobby because she has such quality standards and she's so good and she's so quick. She's reliable. I have one printer and I'm like, I'm not a printer manufacturer. Like, that's not what I do. This is what I do. I don't want
and if that goes down, you need an Allison and Bobby is your Allison.
I'm everybody else's Allison for stuff, except for cutters. That's the one thing I don't do. I mean, I do have local people that will be like, Sam, there's no way I can get this. Can you make this for me? I have an order. It's last minute. Can you do it for me this weekend? And I'm like, sure, I got you, girl. But don't tell anybody.
See, I'm so afraid when sometimes I call Allison, I'm like, I'm so sorry, but I need this tomorrow. And then I have this fear always in the back of my mind that I don't know how many hours she's really putting in on those last minute things.
Yeah.
I don't know how long they're really taking. You know what I mean?
There's Sean. She just jumped right into it. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Oh, wait, here we go. This is true. She did get her first printer to help me motivate me to get mine out of the box. I still didn't. I gave it to her brand new in the box unopened. Now she's got maybe 9 printers, 5 that are reliable, 1 that's trying to converse in Chinese, and 1 that has a super large bed that she hasn't figured out yet.
Somebody else I know got a super large bed not long ago.
I don't know, but then all these bamboo one came. Is it bamboo? Is that how you say it? Am I pronouncing it correctly? So those super fast ones. And I'm like, what do we need? Allison, do we need to save up for that? And she's like, no, I'm good.
Reset the printer.
Oh, Allison says, I don't want to know. Look at that. I don't want to know. Or how many times I get up and reset the printers. That's so funny. Thank you, Allison. We all appreciate you, especially me. So I needed to get my cookie-a-thon cutter done because I needed to make sure it matched up with something else that I'm using that can't be edited or changed. Right. And So she did it so I could test it and make sure it was all right, because all that stuff's on certain deadlines when you're turning stuff in.
Right.
So she was like, "Here, take this." I was like, "Thank you." Yay. Done. One more thing off the checklist.
I'm doing the cookie butter, and I'm with same kind of deadlines, trying to get all that stuff together too. I'm like, whew, this feels like it's all hidden.
How is that one going to be set up? Do you know anything about it? Have they done that one before? Is it going to be like?
It's similar, I think, to the cookie butter, like where you
is it tickets and then access after and that kind of stuff?
Right, and then there's a live. In the evenings, there's a live with the people who did the classes, but all the classes are like pre-recorded. So you can watch the class and have access to it, but then later that evening, you have the opportunity to speak to the instructors live and ask questions.
So do the instructors get on separately, or you guys get on as a group at night, like anybody that went that day?
Separately. I think they have it scheduled. I have to go back and double check, because if I'm being honest, I'm really excited about it, but I haven't gotten everything, all my ducks in a row yet.
Okay. When is that one? Just month. Don't give me dates. Just tell me month.
I think March.
So it's in March.
We have all our stuff turned in by February the 19th, I believe. So I think it's in March.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Well, I am not sure what's happening around here yet for Easter, but I am trying to put a little something together for everybody. So we'll see. I can't make any promises because I have
stuff.
I just have something that's like hanging over my head. That's a big thing that requires me leaving the state to take care of. And the sooner I get it done, the sooner I'll start sleeping at night. So I just can't make a promise about Easter, but this is what I will commit to. If the thing I have to take care of has to be done during the time frame that it prevents me from doing an Easter video or an Easter event like we did for Halloween and Christmas, if that happens, my commitment is that I will put something together specific for you guys in the summertime when nobody else really has anything rolling. Because I was thinking it might be really fun to do like a beach or an under the sea theme and let everybody do their particular skill set medium, the instructors, but have it all themed so we could put it together like a collaboration.
That would be really cool.
And then submit it maybe. I was thinking it might be fun for us. Like you'd have to do something
like beach stuff.
I know you'd have to do something 3D. And honestly, if we do that, I was going to ask you if you could figure out a way to make suspended things under the sea.
Yeah. Yeah, that would
something where they have some movement. Because I just found magician's thread that you can't see. And when I found it, I was thinking, oh, this would be so neat, like to have stuff swimming above a coral reef and stuff.
That would be really cool.
I'll send you that link.
Yeah, let me know what the tension on that is. I'm sitting here like fishing line. I've played around with that stuff before, but
you can't even see this other. It's so cool, and it's thin, but it holds a lot of weight.
That's really cool.
So it's how they do all their tricks like this when they're doing stuff. You can't see it. It doesn't catch light. Like, so I was like, I've got to get this to Sam. I literally, when I ordered it, I was like, I got to have this for Sam.
Yeah, because I'm already sitting here thinking about all the different things that we could. I mean, you could build a whole structure and have things like hanging in.
Yes.
You had a jellyfish, like.
Yes, on the legs.
Cool.
Wouldn't that be fun? We could get Sue to do an underwater stained glass.
Yeah.
I think we should have Nintendo sculpt like a super, super creepy underwater animal of some sort, something.
You can do an octopus.
Yeah, something. Or shark. Wouldn't he do a great shark? Like if he sculpted an underwater, oh, it'd be so great. We should have Sydney do an ice malt piece with like waves and stuff. All right. So if anybody else has my idea, you saw it here first.
Amy's got
February, and I'm talking about summertime because I'm thinking of you all.
I'm going to turn this camera off because I can hear it echoing through here.
Well, I don't see any questions. So, Sam, I think I'm going to shut down the live feed on Instagram.
Okay.
And then anything else you want to tell them about or where they can follow you, your Instagram handle, maybe let's give them
you can catch me on the Instagram at Sammy B Sweets. It's SAMMIE. Actually, it's down there on the screen. Just like that. Okay. Just don't forget the S after the B. If you forget that, it's not going to go to my page. Facebook, same thing. Oh, I know what else, Amy, I forgot to tell you. Did you ever participate in Operation Cookie Takeover? Do you remember?
No, what is that?
Or did you?
Okay. No, I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Okay, so this goes way back. Like I started doing this in 2013 or 2014. But we do like a mass shipment to our troops. So any troop that's deployed anywhere, you can come to my website, you can nominate them to receive a box of cookies. And then you can also come on the same website and you can volunteer to ship cookies. And it doesn't have to be decorated cookies. It can be drop cookies, it can be whatever. And then my job is to go in and I tightened out. Sorry, my puppy is trying to grab the cable, I think. So you can go in and you can say, I want to ship 5 dozen or I want to ship 1 dozen. And my job is to go in and match everybody up together. So we all have the same ship week. And the reason is because, our troops move around. They might get deployed. They might move somewhere else. So we want to make sure that our addresses are as current as possible. So we do it in a very short amount of time. It's like a 3-week thing where I collect information and then I send it back out to you guys. And everybody just gets a single address and you make whatever cookies you want. You put a letter in the box and you send them where I tell you to send them. And last time we did it was pre-COVID.
Okay.
It kind of just things got a little crazy with COVID. Things got a little overwhelming, which is life and managing all of it. But we shipped about 20,000 cookies. So to date, I want to say we've shipped about 250,000 cookies over the course of
amazing. Sam, we should have you pop back on another night and literally just do a video about that so we can keep sharing and replaying it. Because not only are there a lot of lady veterans and gentlemen veterans in this group, we have spouses of veterans or parents of veterans, and we have a lot of people in our group that are in particular, Mary Jean, if you're listening to this, she's involved with Honor Flight. So if we wanted to kick that number up and really.
And I've blocked out, my current plan was going to be to do it in February, but I'm going to push it back to March because I have the website updated. I just gotta have to tweak a few things. So don't fill anything out. Don't go to the website yet, but we will. I'll announce it when it's good to go for sure. And
when you're ready, just tell me and you can come back on and we'll just do it as a totally separate video so we can keep sharing it. There's a lot of people in this group that would jump on that. Promise you, they'll support you.
Well, last time I had somebody who had a bakery, I want to say it was in Colorado, and every day for a week, she took everything left out of her cases at the end of the day and she boxed them up. And I want to say that she shipped about 2,000 cookies on her own. So I had hers go to a naval carrier that had I want to say it had like 200 people on it, maybe more than that. But that way they could really spread them out and everybody could have they could share. So we typically have such an excess, which is awesome, that people can go on their base and instead of them just getting a dozen, they might get 9 or 10 dozen.
Is it APO addresses so they can ship priority mail? So so it keeps it easy. You can get the post office boxes and do it. Okay. And also, Julie, are you still watching? Because I bet your boyfriend could really get a workout on this project. We have some people in the group that have Big Blue. We have some Eddie users I bet they'd jump right on this to support the troops. That's really awesome. That's a great project. And I can't even, Julie said she bet he could. I can't even imagine what this group is so creative and all the stuff that they do. I can't even imagine what they'll come up with. We should just go ahead and set up you got an album set up on your page where we can dump photos and stuff. Okay. All right, cool. So we've got 2 huge things rolling here.
I got a lot
they're saying maybe a class on how to pack and ship might be good. So that night you come back and talk about it. Maybe you could do a quick demo on using the bubble wrap, heat sealing on bubble wrap, what box to use. And we'll get all our supplies prepared. So maybe we should do it before you're ready to start shipping. So these ladies can get ready.
On the website, there's a link that talks about how to pack and ship too, but it's much easier to see it. So that would be really good. And it has most of the frequently asked questions on there. And the only thing that we ever really run into is if an address is incorrect, I have to have the volunteer contact the person who submitted it. And that's just, I will beg, please make sure your addresses are correct before you put them in. But we'll get to all that because.
And then the other thing, I just thought about something when you said that. Allergies. So I'm sure these cookies have to be labeled, or do your instructions say just don't use
On the sheet that gets sent with them, you can list if they have any allergens in them. And we
Okay.
usually in the common ones, but usually with adults, most of us, if we have allergies, we know to look or we know to not eat something that
Gotcha.
they have
Okay.
an unknown origin. So
Yeah,
I don't
that's
tell people
perfect.
to really worry about accommodating any specific allergies. I do
Okay.
have on my submit form where you nominate someone to receive them, you can list if they do have something specific, and I
Right.
will put that in the email.
Okay.
But I also make sure people know, like, these are volunteers. These are not people with massive bakeries. Most of us,
Yes.
maybe some of us have insurance with our businesses, but a lot of these are just really nice people making you some nice cookies. So
That's right.
we try to cover our bases and just
Okay.
everybody's on the up and up, right?
All right. Yes. 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 All right. Well, listen, let's let everybody go. Sam, hang out with me for a minute. You guys, I should be back. It's Tuesday. I mean, knock on wood, seriously, at this point, but I do have something planned for you as a surprise, not a surprise. The item's a surprise. I'm telling you, I'm going to try to be back on at the end of the week, but you know how life is. Life is life. And sometimes it rolls in the right direction and sometimes it rolls backwards or downhill or sideways or there's ice. That's all I can say. So thank you guys so much, all of you, for tuning in. Please, if you're watching the replay, make sure you drop a comment on the video. Let us know you're watching the replay. Let us know where you're watching from. And if you have any questions, drop it there. And please tag Samantha Baughman so that she can reply to you. Answer any questions you have, because we want to keep the cookie train rolling, you guys. Okay, so be nice, be sweet, pass out lots of freebies, make people happy, and do your thing all week, okay? We'll see you guys later, and happy Tuesday night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.